Greetings, folks. So we just got a request for a video on the black and white mirror. So let's jump into that. Now, when you're doing the black and white mirror of the soul, it's a raising of lower energies to higher. And in doing that, it's taking an energy from a state of a passion and then moving it into the state of a virtue. So the basics of going, okay, let's say there's irritability when you're not succeeding, and you have a task, you're focusing on it, and you get irritable because it's not moving as fast as you want, and there's an imbalance. So you go, irritability, what's the positive virtue of that on the upper frequency? So it'd be perseverance. So you draw an arrow from one to the other, from a passion to a virtue, and then you begin transforming the energy into persistence so that you learn to become a more persistent person. And this ability to work from one level to the other, from a passion to a virtue, that's really your black and white mirror skill for three transformations. So you map out all the weaknesses you have within you, and then once you've got that mapped out, then you move from the passion to the virtue. Now, there's a skill in doing that, because some virtues are very obvious, and then others are less so. You have to connect the dots and be very, very creative. So we normally break it down into the elements: fire, water, earth, and then you list the virtues on the top end, and then the passions on the bottom, and you start connecting. Now, most of them are pretty obvious. You'll work them out just with a bit of contemplation. After a few weeks of this exercise, you start to get the feeling of how to transform the energy out. Now, so let's say it was irritability, and you're transforming it into perseverance, and it's fire as an unstable energy on the bottom, and then the will of perseverance on the top. And you do the three transformations. You vital breathe into that feeling of irritability as it rises. You relax it up through the astral body into the mental body as a directive, and then as it reaches the mental body, you sink it into the idea, but then you begin acting upon that idea. So as soon as you start acting upon that idea, there's a deep sense of, now I'm in resonance perseverance, and you continue to persevere in that activity that was giving irritability. So you do the same actions, you do the same activities, but with a different attitude of a person who perseveres and is less susceptible to irritability. So as you are doing this, it's a physical activity that you do in the moment. It's not just a theoretical thinking about. It's a doing. Now, as you jump into the exercises through actions, you need to create situations where you can act upon the virtue and build the virtue. So you have to persevere at an activity that previously made you irritable. Now you're in a state of perseverance, and you're mastering that frequency. As you do this, you're going to find there's going to be a series of little speed bumps in it, where it's sort of like you're an actor, and you're acting the role of someone who has a high degree of perseverance. And as you engage that, it feels like, oh, but that's not me yet, but it becomes you. And so you go from the irritable person, you act the way you want, and then after you've been acting it out, you become that, and everything powers itself up. And this takes a little bit of time. Now, one of the keys to success is connecting all these different skills together to create these final outcomes. If, let's say, you have 10 virtues and you have 10 weak points, how can you web them together? So, for an example, you're looking at you're studying some information. You kind of get it, but you don't fully get it. And you invoke the air element, the insight mind, and then you open up your mental space, open the matrices to the solution. And as you do that, there's a widening of the mental space. There's an amplification of the insight mind gathering all the data, reorganizing subconscious. So you're moving from this type of, how would you put it, trance state to insight state. Yeah, I've got it, I understand it now. And the parameters through which that work are a type of mindful open concentration in having a large mental space. So this large mental space is opposite to stress. If you're stressed, you have a small mental space, the mind becomes stressed and you can't see the answer. You open the mental space, go, okay, I understand how to do this now. You take that virtue and you put that virtue and connect it to your other virtue, which was persistence. And then you open the mental space while you persist. And you take all these different virtues that are the polarities of the passions, and you start connecting them and intertwining them so they amplify each other. This type of practice allows you to transform your black and white mirror at a much faster rate, because each quality is supporting the next quality. And this type of training speeds everything up, gives you a much faster speed for achieving what you want to do. The next thing we'll look at is the balance of the elements in your mirror. So as you start working with developing the black and white mirror in regards to let's say a skill development, you want to develop clairvoyance, and you need to create equanimity of the fire element. So as you work with the fire element, you very quickly realize that each individual emotion is going to connect into a different aspect of eye consciousness, a different aspect of your will, and a different aspect of the equanimity of the fire pillar. So as you do this, there's a very, very deep sense of what needs to be done. Your intuitive guidance system goes, I've got to work more on this and more on that to get the balance or the equanimity of the fire element so that the clairvoyance can open. So you map out all the different fire qualities you're working with and bring each one into equanimity so that the clairvoyance can work more efficiently. Now, there's a contradiction in this, because as you look at different psychics, they're not very equanimous. And these psychics usually have large holes in the aura. And that's why it is the way it is. They're not equanimous because they're not using equanimity to create the doorway between the spiritual fields and themselves. They have a hole in the aura, a trauma. And that trauma is what they're utilizing to access information. And so they can be very scattered, very not present, very traumatized, while still expressing very accurate psychic information. So you don't want to use those people as examples. You'll have other people which it's a past life carry through. So they're carrying through their skills from their past lives, and their spirit has the inclination of the doorways that they've developed through large amounts of samadhi over many incarnations, and it's in the spirit. They carry it through the spirit. The unconscious are able to thin out the matrices in the eye consciousness and carry the information. So we're not using that method either. We're training equanimity of eye consciousness, equanimity of fire element, and through that equanimity, we are developing the skills by layering vital breathing through the eyes, astral breathing through the eyes, going into astral equanimity of the eye consciousness, and then opening that gate up. So it's a very straightforward process, and your black and white mirror is what you're very, very dependent on to have success. And what you're looking at now is a Goma ceremony fire pit. So this is their Goma room. You can see it a bit better. So there's the ceremonial equipment in there, and they light a fire and do very, very cool Fudomyo invocation exercises in this temple. Okay, so let's continue. Now, you've taken the lower frequency of fire element. You've taken a virtue of will or persistence to one of the higher fire frequencies. You've raised the lower energies to higher. You've created an equanimity within the fire element. Then you do a fire element practice where you're concentrating the awareness in the fire element, and equanimity arises, kasha arises, you align the eye consciousness, you move through the vital, move through the astral, you move through the mental, move through the akasha, invoke light, pass light through the layers of the eye consciousness. You bring in prayers for clairvoyance, and you awaken your clairvoyance through equanimity or a non-dual state of light passing through. Now, that's nice of them to provide walking sticks for the hill up ahead. As you do this, you'll notice that there's different aspects of the fire element are equanimous, and then other aspects are sort of like have electric static in them. This electric static, now the word static, I often misuse it. Someone asked me recently, what is the meaning of the word static? Now, the word static by itself means nothing moving. Electromagnetic static is the opposite. Everything's moving. And I'm often referring to electromagnetic static of the brain, that the brain is a continual state of static. And because it is in static, everything is out of balance. It is moving. So my apologies if I've been misusing that word of late on the videos. Now, back to fire element and clairvoyance. So you're developing the clairvoyance, concentration through eye consciousness. You've been balancing the fire element through these different aspects of the black white mirror of the fire, and you've gotten partial results. As you that track goes up the mountain to Fudo Falls, a really beautiful spot. Some amazing trees up there. It's a bit steep, so I'll lose my breath if I go up there. I won't be able to make this video, but we can go to the base of the track. For those of you who have been up here, I'm sure this brings back really happy and traumatic memories of getting up those almost cliff faces. They're a lot of fun practicing up at the top of those falls. Now, fire element. So you've looked at the different aspects of the fire element in your mirror. You've transformed from lower to higher. Once you've done that transformation from lower to higher, you have a certain degree of equanimity of the fire element. You apply that through a skill, through doing something, an activity. In this case, we're looking at clairvoyance. You practice your clairvoyance. You feel the relative static field around you. And as you feel that static field within the fire element, because it feels like it's around you, because it's a fire skill, then you have the the potential to amplify or lift that energy up. Now, clairvoyance can be generated through quite a few different factors. You can amplify the fire element moving through the eyes to generate a state of clairvoyance. So let's say you flood life force through your eyes, you start seeing life force, or you put life force and equanimity through the eyes and you start seeing life force. So either of these methods will work, and you can create a type of how would you put it? Put yourself in a high volume life force environment and equalize the eye consciousness to the environment, and the eyes start to see the energetic environment because it's stronger than you. And there's lots of these approaches for clairvoyance. Now, in relation to the black and white mirror, you want to be able to have some sort of way of measuring the equanimity of the fire element. And you can do that first through just a perception of how that particular emotion is arising in daily life, how frequent it appears and disappears, how long it stays for, and the strength of its arising. Is it intense and quickly disappears, or is it just subtle and lingers, subtle and disappears, and so forth? As you transform the energy up, the occurrences will be less and less until it totally disappears. And if you do a very strong transformation, it disappears suddenly and it's gone. When you are doing your mirror, you may want to define the triggers. What triggers impatience, irritability? What triggers these different emotions? And then reset the trigger to something else, to the higher virtue of persistence. That when that trigger happens, you transform the energy up, raise it to the higher state, and apply it. Okay, so that's sort of one or a few ideas on transforming lower energies to the higher through your mirror, through taking a passion, unstable energy, transforming it to a virtue, and doing that through each of the gates and passing it through the psychic senses so that you can stabilize and strengthen each psychic gate. All right, back home again. Thanks for your time, everyone. Hope this kind of helped answer that question, and we'll do a lot more videos on this topic because there's so many different angles and approaches for it. Okay, thanks for your time, everyone. See you in the next video.